Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr. saving you big with a $5.99 maxed out double stack spicy chicken sandwich. The new Spicy Chicken Max. And by your local Kia dealers. Visit Kia.com to discover movement that inspires. Dodgers and Pirates ready to start a 3-game series, and the acquisition of Tarek Skubal, the return of Blake Snell, the starting pitchers last 9 games with a sub-3 ERA, recapturing what they've been for a lot of this season as one of the top starting staffs in baseball. And they've got their top guy going tonight, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Beat Milwaukee on Friday, held the Brewers to just a run over 6 innings, and the Dodgers' lone win in that 4-game series. And since the All-Star break, #1 in the National League with a 182.
He is the workhorse. He's not only the workhorse of the Dodgers, he's pretty much the workhorse of baseball as far as how deep he goes into the game, how often he does that, and the quality of stuff. The fewest runs given up, like before the 6th, 7th inning. This guy gets people out all the time. Throwing a few more cut fastballs since the All-Star break, a few less curveballs, but the foundation we know is the fastball and the splitter.
And he's built on that foundation, more and more unpredictable, and take your pick, right? I mean, the fastball's the #1 fastball in baseball. The sinker ranks 2nd. The splitter's top 5. And like you said, the cutter's been one of the best since a month in.
And what I love is we're going to really watch the first 10 pitches here tonight, because if he's got the fastball in the right place, if he's got good movement on the cutter and the curveball, and then if they're not picking up the splitter and chasing it, he could be in for a really good night.
Why don't we take a look at the lineup that he'll face off with for the Pirates here in Game 1. It is Spencer Horwitz to lead off. Brandon Lau bats second, 27 home runs, 80 knocked in, top 10 in the National League in both those categories in his first season with the Pirates. Brian Reynolds, their longest tenured guy in his 8th season in Pittsburgh, bats third. The DH is Nick Gonzalez. He's second in the league, hitting .310. O'Neal Cruz, freakish talent, just came back from injury a few days ago. Rafael Flores does the catching. Mangum's in right. Jacob Gonzalez out of Glendora, California. Jared Triolo hits 9th and starts at third base. The Dodgers coming off of that sweep in Colorado. Started the day 2 back in Milwaukee, 2 ahead of Atlanta. Those both went in the opposite directions because Milwaukee beat Atlanta. Mizorowski over Sale. So 2.5 back of the Brewers, 2.5 ahead of the Braves. So here we go. Horwitz climbs in. Yamamoto comes home, and off we go with a fastball downstairs, ball 1. In that game against Milwaukee last weekend, Yamamoto took him a bit to get going. He needed 38 pitches to get to the first 2 innings, and he said afterwards he felt like he was trying to be a little bit too fine. So just a kind of a mental reset, and from there 15 pitches per inning, much more like him.
It's interesting that he talked about the mentality of that game early on and not the mechanics. So what your mind does, your body will follow. Hopefully he's throwing strikes early here.
There's that splitter you said you're going to be looking for early.
Yeah, his ERA is over a point higher in the first inning, and a lot of the times it's because he just doesn't establish his windows quick enough, and then all of a sudden the offense creeps up on him. But if he finds it early, it could be outstanding.
Here he comes to the 1-2. Yeah, and almost got that back to the inside corner. I think he did, and if it wasn't the first at-bat of the game, he might have gotten a challenge from Fiducia.
A little two-seamer that leaked back over the corner.
Here's his 2-2. Wow, that thing is disappearing so far. 2 splitters and both of them beauties.
91 miles an hour. He threw the first pitch of the game, a 4-seamer too low, but then a 4-seamer for a strike, and here come the splitters. And if you establish that you can throw the 4-seamer for a strike at the knees, they are going to be swinging at that splitter.
And if he and the Dodgers get 7 strikeouts in this game, everybody gets that free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink at LA area Jack in the Box restaurants. Up comes Brandon Lau, who the Pirates got from the Rays in a trade this offseason. Rips it by Freeman for a base hit. Got a first pitch splitter and knew what to do with it. Lau's put together a great first year in Pittsburgh. 27 home runs, 80 knocked in, and he's got a base hit here.
See the difference in the splitters just from the height. All of a sudden one is waist high, not breaking as sharp. The other started at the knees, ended up in the dirt. Freddie almost captured it.
So the Pirates have their first base runner of the game, and here comes Brian Reynolds. Arnold's one of the faces of the franchise. He's been there 8 seasons. Only organization he's ever played for. Steady, reliable player who has played in every game this season. If he can finish it out like that, he'll be the first Pirate to play in all 162 in more than 2 decades. Gets hit by this cutter. And so first and second against Yamamoto. Again, some traffic in the first.
One's a base hit that they earned. Another one a hit batter the Yamamoto hands to them. He's going to have to face these first inning demons right here.
It's the inning where you see the highest ERAs. You see this with a lot of guys where they have a hard time getting into the game. And it's also when you are most certainly going to face the best hitters. Couple runners aboard for Nick Gonzalez. Only Luis Arraez a higher batting average this year in the National League. Jumps on the first one, bangs it into center field. An aggressive wave to Lau. Here comes the throw from Pages offline. 1-0 Pittsburgh. RBI single for Nick Gonzalez. 1-0 very quickly.
He hits another high splitter. And it is off to the races with a little stumble coming around third right there. Gave Pages a chance, but the throw being offline. If it was online, it would have been a bang play, but kind of breaks stride right there and just kind of his right knee collapsed on him. But that would have given him a shot at home, but still too late.
Pages, the National League leader in outfield assists. Usually see it that offline. The Pirates are on the board first and second with one away, and here's O'Neill Cruz. Cruz as freakishly talented as anybody in baseball and was putting it all together this year, but then got hurt, injured his hand on a slide into home and missed 2 months. First 2 games coming back, he picked right where he left off. Home run, knocked in 3, and stole a base.
Highest hard hit percentage in the National League, but also the highest whiff rate in the National League. So he's kind of all or nothing.
So he swings and misses more than anybody, but when he does hit it, he hits it harder than anybody. And then when it's in play, he's as fast as anybody. Bouncing ball to Freddie Freeman. He will feed Yamamoto for out number 2. As you see him run down past first, he is as huge as anybody. 6'7", 240 pounds. O'Neill Cruz, former Dodger farmhand. Traded to the Pirates for Tony Watson at the deadline in 2017. Can't win them all. Can't win all the trades. That's the same year the Dodgers traded Yordan Alvarez for Josh Fields. So second and third, a run in the bank, 2 gone, and Rafael Flores Jr. Pops it up down the right field line for Kyle Tucker. Sprints under it and makes the catch to end the inning. Pirates get on the board first, though. Dodgers come to bat against Bubba Chandler when you come back.
Yep.
Here come the Dodgers, presented by your SoCal Helpful Honda dealers. Ohtani strides up there to lead things off, followed by Freeman and Pages. Max Muncy bats cleanup tonight with Mookie Betts at short, coming off a 3-hit game on Wednesday. Kyle Tucker's coming off a 2-hit game, his first multi-hit game in a couple weeks. Tommy Edman, Tasker Hernandez, and Hunter Fiducia to round things out. And they face off with a hard-throwing 23-year-old from Georgia, Bubba Chandler, who since the All-Star break, Oral, has been right there with Yamamoto as one of the best in the league.
Yeah, batting average against is dropping. He's not walking as many guys. He's filling the zone. So with his stuff, if he is in the zone, could be intimidating.
Outside with his first pitch. That is the issue, though. Like you said, he's walking fewer batters lately, but overall the worst walk rate in baseball.
Too much free traffic.
1-0 to Ohtani, who hit 3 of the 6 home runs for the Dodgers in Colorado and leads the team with 30 of them this year. Offense coming to life in those 3 games. You're talking about it during the Brewers series. Maybe that's what they needed. Go to Coors Field, find themselves, and some confidence coming out of that. How can they build off of it?
You can downgrade it because it was in Colorado, but just to get the feeling of getting hits and feel good about yourself. can go a long way.
4-pitch walk to open the night. And that lack of control that has been a problem for Chandler. Doesn't wait around to show up. Performance Spotlight is sponsored by your Southern California Nissan dealers. Freddie Freeman, 3 doubles in the 3 games in Colorado. Gives him 210 since coming to the Dodgers to lead the majors. His 3 doubles, part of a 6-for-12 series for Freeman. And even with a bit of a lull a couple weeks prior to that series, over the last month, he's hitting 380.
He's getting all kinds of hits. He'd like to hit for a little bit more power, and it was nice to get the extra base hits in Colorado. But you know what? He is not in his A power swing, but he might be in his A swing, especially the base hit to left. I think Dodger resumes might scare him out of the strike zone here. If I looked at a young pitcher here, still a rookie, he looks like he's a little bit afraid to throw this ball in the strike zone. These first 2 hitters.
Chandler came up last season, was really good late last year, went 4-1 in the late season call up. A lot of this season has not reached expectations, though. That has been part of the deal, this entire starting pitching staff, which was supposed to be the biggest strength of the Pirates, the biggest reason they had a shot to get to the postseason for the first time in a decade. But it's the offense that's been really good. Pitching has not been very good.
And they're 5.5 out of the wild card with probably too many teams to jump over.
And just 33 games left. They were in playoff position around the All-Star break, but 11-18 over the last month. In the first full season for Don Kelly as the skipper, had been the bench coach, took over for Derek Shelton early on last year. 7 straight losing seasons for the Pirates. Last postseason trip 2015. Chandler strikes out Freeman for the first out.
Well, that's the Chandler fastball that can be electric. He's got to start it like it's down the middle and then have that tailing action that would jam righties and go up and away from lefties. That's a tough one to catch up to.
And recognizing how good that fastball can be, he's relied on it more and more lately. Uses his 4-seam as much as anybody. That's what he uses for strike 1 on Andy Pages. Pages somewhat quietly, 320 over his last 20 games. He had about a 2-month stretch where the numbers had more than leveled off. They had dipped pretty low. Dave Roberts was telling us the other day, though, he feels like Andy Pages has again proven himself, has again proven something, where he had a stretch like this last year that he never recovered from and lost his spot during the postseason, but this time he's punched back.
Game of adjustments. And as the league adjusts to you and finds your holes and tries to accentuate them, you got to close them quicker, and especially quicker than last year.
Ohtani at first, 1 away. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Pages.
There's multiple ways to close a hole if you're a hitter. First and foremost, don't swing at that pitch. Don't chase that pitch. The other one is develop an eye that you're going to make that pitch a little bit more of your foundation of what you're going to attack. And they build their swings in BP and tee work and different things to maybe cover certain things.
Just outside with 100, and he's gone from 0-2 to 3-2. So it's that question of, do you build off your strength or do you try to cover up your weakness?
Yeah, and some of these guys are so talented and so versatile with changing a little bit of their plate coverage. You got to recognize yourself.
That's an impressive walk if he chose to challenge, but he doesn't. It's strike 3. Kai Moore, the home plate umpire, rings him up on a high pitch. And Pages, who is never shy about challenging, holds his water here.
Yeah, the very first pitch of the at-bat was high and away, but it did clip the strike zone, and maybe that convinced him that better leave that one alone. But yeah, it was about an inch too high.
So back-to-back Ks after the leadoff walk, and ball 1 inside on Max Muncy. Homered and knocked in 4 in Colorado. 3 home runs, 8 driven in his last 7 games.
Car flies by you at 101 miles an hour, and you just say, that felt an inch too close. I mean, that's the kind of eyes these guys have.
Toy car.
Yeah, it's amazing how accurate the umpires are, but they're standing still behind the strike zone. But the hitters on the left or the right, to really recognize it, that's what makes, you know, hitting an experiential sport. You've got to really get in the big league box and experience it. And as you come up from the minors, experience big league pitching. In the minors, you might face big league stuff, you know, for 2 or 3 guys on a staff. Up here, it just keeps coming at you, and especially now that starters are only going 5 and 6 innings, so you might only get 2 at bats off the starter, and the rest of it are, you know, the big hairy guys coming out of the bullpen.
And these days, everybody's got hair.
Exactly.
On a 2-2 pitch, Muncy hits a fly ball to deep right field. Back goes Mangum at the track, at the wall. Goodbye. Max Muncy does it again, and the Dodgers jump in front. That's only the 3rd pitch that they've swung at in this inning, but he makes it count.
He picks on the high fastball, and if you're watching the pregame show at the very end of it, before it got tossed out to us, John Hartung's called shot was Max Muncy, and he did the damage and got John cheering back in the studio really early.
So that gives him 4 home runs and 10 knocked in his last 8 games. Mookie Betts now, coming off a 3-hit game on Wednesday that included a home run and the go-ahead hit in the 10th inning. Above 300 over his last 10. Quickly down 0-2 here. Chandler comes back home. Betts stays alive.
Sweep in Colorado, and then a guy like this on the mound tonight can wake up to compete, to keep the momentum. You can't go up there and have a lazy at bat.
Betts pokes one knuckling that'll bounce it allow at second. That ends the inning, but the Dodgers go from down 1 to up 1. Max Muncy with his 26th home run of the year, 2-1 after an inning.
Stream MLB Network 24/7. That's in the U.S. and selected Automark games every week, plus live radio broadcasts of every game. Game day 3D, big inning, minor league action. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today.
Got it all in. Whew. Jake Mangum flips first pitch curveball foul. So the Dodgers take Yamamoto from down 1-0 to ahead 2-1. They don't need a whole lot more to statistically this year guarantee a win for Yamamoto. This season, when they've scored 3 runs in the entire game, when Yamamoto's pitching, he is 12-0. Splitter this time moves left to right instead of straight down and gets a swing and a miss.
No outs in the 2nd inning, but he's already thrown 2 pitches here. Only 15 pitches so far compared to those big first couple innings in the last game. 5 of the first 7 hitters for Pittsburgh have swung at the first pitch.
So very different approaches from the 2 offenses. You had the Dodgers clearly patient against Chandler. Pirates coming out swinging here is a tapper along the left side and foul. And this is part of the evolution for Yamamoto. We see the strikeouts down, the efficiency up. You're talking about averaging 6 2/3 innings. That leads baseball. That's more than a full inning better than he averaged as a rookie. Part of it is guys don't want to get to these 2-strike counts, and so they're up there hacking. And he's saying, fine, I don't mind being that guy. I don't mind having fewer strikeouts in order to get deeper into the game.
And you'll get fewer strikeouts when the hitters want to put the pitch in play early because they don't want to get to the 2-strike and they don't want to strike out. So yeah, their ego gets in the way too.
Home with an 0-2, and he gets his 2nd strikeout on that splitter.
He gets the strikeout. He gets soft contact early, and he's having a great year. Trying to hunt his 13th win of the year here.
Shortstop, number 26, Jacob Gonzalez.
Yeah, the other thing, and we were talking about this earlier, but that arsenal, which has always been vast, more and more, you don't know which one of those pitches he's going to feature on a given night. Yeah, you're always going to have the fastball and the splitter, but like last time, he threw 14 curveballs. He hadn't thrown anywhere close to that in months. And so as these hitters are up there being aggressive, chances are they're not finding the barrel because you don't know what you're swinging at. The 1 to Jacob Gonzalez is upstairs.
He was searching out info in spring training from a lot of different people that have pitched in the big leagues. And one of the main topics that he was asking me about was reading hitters' swings, because he wants to go next level. He wants to not just be able to go in the scouting report like he comes over here from Japan and he's learning the league, learning batters, learning the scouting reports. But he wants to go next level into present tense.
Sinker for strike 3. Back-to-back Ks in the second.
So reading swings and foul balls and body language of guys getting in the box, of situations and what kind of personality they bring into the box in pressure situations compared to no out, nobody on.
Already within 4 Ks of that free jumbo jack. 2 up and 2 down in this second inning. Jared Triolo taking downstairs. It has been a joy to watch him evolve and evolve quickly. Got to the majors 2 years ago, was good, 7-2, had a 3 ERA, was unsure of himself still, as like you said, he learned the league. Last season though took off and was crowned as one of the top pitchers in baseball, what he did in the postseason, but never satisfied.
Well, if you think about leaving Japan and the depth and the knowledge of that league and every hitter, and when a guy steps into the batter's box, it's like, okay, I've done this with him. He started to make an adjustment here. I can go here with him. Oh, yeah, that swing. All right, I know what to do. He comes over here, and I'm sure you feel like you're almost pitching naked. You're like just starting over on your knowledge. And that's the level that these guys pitch at. I mean, there's an intense studying. There's an intensity to the passion that they bring to knowledge of pitching, because he's got his mechanics down, right? He's got his pitches down. Now, how do I apply it?
Strikes out the side with 3 different pitch types in this second. Gets Mangum with a splitter, Gonzalez with a sinker, Triolo with a 4-seam. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. And an extra hearty welcome for the Dodger fans for Kyle Tucker. This is the treatment Philadelphia fans gave Trey Turner in his first season in Philly a couple years ago, and there was rumor going around the interwebs that this may be the case. And it's nice to see. After Tucker got his first multi-hit game in a couple weeks on Wednesday, hammers this pitch down the line foul. This is less about the multi-hit game Wednesday and more about them trying to breathe life into his first season with the team.
The numbers on the road are pretty much career standard. The numbers here at home are really way below career standard, and it can be hard to sign that contract, put on the new white uniform, and not perform up to par. And they're trying to pull him out of it.
You know, there's the bigness of playing in LA, the physical bigness of Dodger Stadium that looms large. Then the rightful pressure that comes with a big contract that you sign. Gets off to the bad start, that snowballs. Dave Roberts is saying today he's hopeful, and he feels like mentally, emotionally, he's turning a corner.
Well, you're used to getting kind of hammered verbally on the road. But if all of a sudden you're so bad at home and all of a sudden your ears kind of perk up to certain negative things as you trot out to right field, or if you're standing there after you struck out in a big situation, it can make you really sensitive. It's not the easiest, because you're not prepared to be at home and feel anything negative.
Grounds one to first. Horwitz will take it to the bag to get the first out of the inning. He hit on the field today, which is always noteworthy. That's not usually part of his routine. Thought being that the cage can hide some of your miss hits. So the first round today, hook, ground ball didn't look pretty. But by the end of it, he and the hitting coaches are pretty happy with what they were seeing. And talking to Aaron Bates, is like seeing the ball fly can reveal some things that hitting in the cage, no matter how good you feel, isn't going to show you. Tommy Edman takes a little low.
Feedback can be helpful as long as you're analyzing it correctly, and the Dodger hitting coaches know how to do that.
Dave Roberts has encouraged Kyle Tucker to try some new things. He's encouraged him to take more on-field BP. And Tucker's at the point here where, after 4 or 5 months of struggling like this, just a month left, there's a willingness there.
If there's somebody that can get you to refocus or motivate you, it's that man right there.
Three and one on Edman.
Dave Roberts is one of the best communicators I've ever been around, and one of the most genuine, high integrity people too, because you can talk, you can motivate, but if it doesn't ring true, it doesn't usually get through.
Franchise that had Walter Alston, Tommy Lasorda, both Hall of Fame managers. That man right there likely headed to the Hall of Fame once his managing career is finished. How is he similar? How is he different from Tommy?
Well, he can talk as much as Tommy, but in a completely different way. I mean, Tommy's rang true, but Tommy was expressing his feelings, whether it was about a loss or about you or about a win, and he was very genuine with feelings. I think Dave is a little bit more thoughtful to what does the player need, what does this moment need, compared to just the integrity of the feeling where Tommy was.
Edman down on strikes, 2 gone.
I think Dave is better at channeling his personal feelings and not having to express them, where Tommy's were exuberant and over the top no matter what, and that's what made it ring true, where with Dave, the players know that he cares about them and he's thinking about what he needs to say to them.
Strike on Teoscar Hernandez.
And you'll run through a wall for both of them. There's just different styles.
Different styles, but same destination in Cooperstown.
And then you're talking about Walter Alston, who I was around as a young Dodger in the minor leagues, and he would come to camp. The O'Malleys would still invite him to camp, and he would hang out and be around, and very stoic. And not stoic because he didn't want to step on Tommy's toes, just stoic. That's just the way he was.
Called him the quiet man.
There's a story about him and the bus ride that we'll talk about next inning, as long as he's out.
And he is. Triolo throws out Hernandez, finishes a 1-2-3 second.
Fans, on August 23rd, will take home an exclusive pair of Uniqlo sunglasses presented by you at Uniqlo. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
Does it say you guessed it in the read, or you just adding your own little flair to it?
Yeah, I'm flaring.
Yeah. Vibing.
Top
of the order here for the Pirates, and Spencer Horwitz, who takes strike 1 from Yamamoto. Challenge here from Horwitz. ABS is powered by T-Mobile. Just barely nicked the top of the strike zone.
1 challenge remaining.
Challenge does lead me to the Walter Alston story.
Yeah. Good segue.
There was a story that they were having bus problems during his days, and the players just kept griping and griping about it. And so he had the bus driver stop it alongside of the road. He stood up in the front of the bus and said, "I understand you guys are having a problem, but if any of you want to get off the bus and fight me, you all need to shut up." He got off the bus and stood out there and Everybody stayed quiet and nobody got off the bus.
That was actually after they got whooped by the Pirates. They were in Pittsburgh, really muggy early summer day. And that was 1963. That finished in a championship.
Maybe the air conditioner broke.
23 seasons for number 24 on 23 one-year contracts. That's how low maintenance he was. That's how secure he was in himself.
He, of the two guys in the Dodger organization that I grew up around, Don Drysdale and Walter Alston, I would describe as man's men. They just oozed like testosterone and strength, and like, wow, this guy, you know, don't mess with him. But then when you talk to them, they really cared about you.
Knuckling bounce to Mookie Betts. Horwitz the first out of the third.
And Big D became a close friend for me because, you know, he was an announcer and he was there all the time. Where Walt, we just got to see him through spring training off and on.
One gone in the third. Here's Lau. Scored the Pirates run in that first inning. High fastball swung on and missed.
He is getting a lot of swings and misses, almost 50% on their swings. They're swinging and missing, and mostly that split.
We talk about him being more efficient, not having as many strikeouts. He can still be that guy when he chooses to. You look at his last start against Milwaukee, he had 9 Ks, one shy of his season high. And that cutter's so good that we put music to it. Home with an 0-2.
What I like about the soft contact early is that we get to October and the rest of his starts here in the regular season, he's going to go deeper and deeper into the game. And so instead of maybe having to go to 3 relievers to finish a game that he starts, you might only have to go to 1.
Poke towards the left field corner. Hernandez sprints over there. It lands just fair and bounces into the seats at double. So Lau is 2 for 2. A tying run in scoring position here in the third.
Number 10, Brian Reynolds.
Decent pitch, better position on the hitting. The only thing that raises that for the probability of being a hit is the location of it, not how well it was hit.
This Pirates offense that ranked dead last in the majors last year, 3rd in the majors in runs scored this year. And Lau's been a big part of that. His addition coming over from Tampa Bay.
It's a good offense, but it's kind of an all or nothing offense. They have a lot of 7 runs or more games, 42 of them to be exact. And they've got a lot of 2 or less games.
And lately they've been banged up, so not quite the same the last month or so. 0-2 on Reynolds. Check swing and a splitter.
It was some kind of take. That splitter was a strike for a long time.
Lau off second, 1-2 to the plate downstairs. Count evens up. Yamamoto 22 starts this year. 3 or fewer runs in 20 of those 22 starts. 6 or more innings in 19 of the 22. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Reynolds. Challenge coming here from Fiducia that's going to get him a strikeout on that sinker. Malachi Moore a couple times, it looks like, has given up on that sinker coming back. And this time, thanks to ABS powered by T-Mobile, he's going to get the strikeout anyways.
Starts inside, leaks back to the corner. In an earlier at bat to a lefty, we saw that. They didn't challenge it, but it would have been a strike. This one they call and get.
So with 2 gone, it's up to Nick Gonzalez, who knocked in the run in the first inning. .257 hitter his first 3 years in the major leagues. He's at .312 now. A challenge from Fiducia on the first pitch.
Catcher is challenging to call a ball.
Yamamoto 10 for 12 in first pitch strikes. Does he get another one? He does.
Ball's overturned. Los Angeles has 2 challenges remaining.
11 for 13 on first pitch strikes, and they have swung at 7 of the 13.
He's saying, my man.
Just out there vibing.
Gonzalez again cracks a base hit into center field, and it's the same combination as the first inning to tie it here in the third. Gonzalez knocks in Lau.
Well, there's been a pattern to the hits. It has been when they are up about thigh high or waist high, and here's one thigh high that they get to. When he has been down at the knees or up and in jamming their hands, he's been getting them out easy. But a few mistakes so far to plate these 2 runs have been splitters up and fastballs up about thigh high, waist high.
So we're back at square one here in the third. Tied at 2, and O'Neill Cruz to the plate. Cruz, who grounded out his first time. Yeesh.
I think this whole Pittsburgh lineup came into the game really thinking about the splitter. Some of them they've been chasing, and some of them they've had some really good takes. If we turn back the clock a little bit for some of the older fans watching, Cruz looks like somebody like Dave Parker. That's big and strong and could hit it a mile.
One-two pitch from Yamamoto, misses away.
Also like a Willie McCovey.
From the Dominican Republic, still just 27 years of age. Feels like he's been around for a long time at this point. In his 5th season. Runner at first, 2 out, and Yamamoto checks on him. Unique name for a guy from the Dominican Republic. Unique name for anybody. First name O'Neill. His dad's favorite player was Paul O'Neill, the former Yankee great.
Paul O'Neill, a big, strong left-handed hitter.
Pounds this one into the ground to second. Tommy Edmonds got it, and that's that for the Pirates in the third, but they've tied it. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Shakey's Pizza Parlor, serving up handcrafted pizza, crispy fried chicken, and famous Mojo potatoes since 1954. 9-1-2 for the Dodgers coming up here in the bottom of the third in a 2-2 ball game. Dodgers looking for a 4th consecutive win and trying to pull back to within 2 games of the Brewers, the top seed in the National League. Chance to grow their lead over the Braves to 3. Fiducia leads off, takes ball 1 from Chandler. Fiducia's been on base 8 of the 10 starts that he's made since coming back to the Dodgers. Good Will Smith update today. More progress on the field with some more live BP. He was going to catch a couple bullpens as well. Not going to make the trip to Atlanta and Detroit, but Dave Roberts said he thinks first week of September could be a possibility for him to get activated.
It's a really fun sight to see when he's out there getting it from live pitching. It's a big step from hitting off the tee or hitting off little BP in the cage.
What a stabilizing presence it'll be to have him back.
He's going to have to build the endurance not only of 4 or 5 at bats, but the endurance of catching 9 innings.
Fiducia smacks a base hit to left center field. Reynolds hustles to grab it on the track. Fiducia turns the corner and starts this inning with a double.
It is always good when the bottom of the order contributes, setting it up for the big man coming up. This could be a nice inning.
Ohtani has started this game with a 4-pitch walk. Seen 5 pitches, none of them really close, and you wonder if there's a psychological thing going on here. You understand that with any pitcher facing Ohtani. Maybe particularly so for Chandler, whose first run that he allowed in the major leagues came on an Ohtani home run. 6 for 6. Or 0 for 6, depending on your perspective.
I think there's a little extra effort on every pitch, which can take you out of your rhythm, and it does not enhance the direction of the baseball.
Base hit the other way. That was a screamer that got by Gonzalez. Fiducia to third, and the Dodgers have him cornered with nobody out.
One thing about the 7 pitches that Shohei has seen, none of them been on the inner half or inside. So even though you're throwing 101 to 98 miles an hour, Shohei very comfortable being there, knowing the ball's probably going to be middle away, and that's where it's at, and that's where he raked it.
Runners at first and third in a 2-2 game. Here's Freddie Freeman. Struck out his first time. I was talking to Chase Utley today about Freddie Freeman. Chase, the guy who's known as the Silver Fox later in his career, played until he was 39, said he is so impressed watching Freddie do what he's doing, understanding that, said, look, your body's not going to feel the same when you get to that stage, but he said he's so stubborn in his approach. Even if his body's maybe not feeling the same or moving the same, he's going to stick to what has always made him good. He knows what makes him good. And even if he's feeling like he maybe can't drive the ball like he once could, what has he always done? He's fought and he's found a way to collect hits. And he's still doing that at as high level as ever. In the air to center field, Cruz makes the catch. Fiducia's going to hang there with Cruz possessing a cannon.
The ball was scorched. It's in front of Cruz. He's got a cannon, and there's only now 1 out when that ball gets caught. You don't do anything risky here. You try and keep the inning alive. Dino Ebel holding him up, and even though the throw's offline, you're probably still going to be out.
That is the single most powerful arm in baseball. Overall, not a great center fielder. He's just moved out there from shortstop the last couple of years, but averages 97 miles per hour on his throws. That one was 101.
Might be on the mound soon.
Fish. Double from Fiducia, single from Ohtani, first and third with 1 away, and here's Pages. Tied with Ohtani for the team lead, those 80 runs batted in.
Andy should get some pitches to hit with the guy on deck hit the home run. That's the first home run that Chandler's given up since the middle of July, or really July 5th, early July. They're going to attack here in the right-on-right situation, and Muncy on deck.
Pages took a long stroll out of the dirt circle there, and home plate umpire Malachi Moore is saying, get back here. You can take time, but you're not allowed to venture that far off anymore in the pitch clock era. On this 1-1, Pages gets hit. Bases are loaded, and you hold your breath for the Dodgers center fielder.
Right on the wrist, I think. You know, all the small bones there in the wrist and hand. That's full impact. Not pulling the hand backwards, it's going towards the ball.
That is one tough guy.
Wow. He's just sucking it up. I mean, you know it hurts like it does for everybody else, but he is not showing it.
All right, so Pages stays in the game, and the bases are loaded here for Max Muncy, who's got 8 grand slams in his career. Doesn't have any out of the 26 home runs this season. Homered his first time up. Swings and misses at a good change. It's that home run in the first inning.
It was on a sinker. It's the first home run in Chandler's young career that he's given up on a two-seamer.
And it was 101 miles per hour, the second fastest pitch hit by a Dodger for a home run at the StatCast era, which goes back about a decade. And Muncy has the hardest hit, or the hardest pitch hit out for a home run as well. Good stop right there by Flores. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Big situation where Chandler would love to get a strikeout, so you got a chance to get an overthrown pitch like that breaking ball there, where he really tests his catcher.
Producer and Ohtani with hits. Pages was hit. Another 1-2 pitch to Max Muncy. Takes off on him, and the count evens 2-2.
We've seen Chandler take a few walks around the mound after throwing the high and away fastball. I think this hot streak he's on, he's coaching himself a little quicker.
Muncy fouls it off and stays alive. How many times this year have we seen Muncy against a guy with nasty stuff fight and stay alive?
The first part of that fight is his knowledge of the strike zone. But those tough pitchers' pitches, for him to foul off, that is a talent.
This time he's down swinging on a changeup.
He hits 101 out. They pull the string at 93, and they get him out front for a big strikeout here. That keeps the game tied at 2.
And so it's up to Mookie Betts. Ground ball towards the middle. It's got eyes, and the Dodgers got the lead. 2 out, 2-run single from Mookie Betts. 4-2.
At times, sometimes Mookie probably thinks I'm not the best player on the field anymore, but the thing I would always tell him is you can make one of the biggest impacts on the team, and he does right here. Just be Mookie Betts. You are enough.
I was asking Mookie today if he's been able to have any perspective how this is comparing to last year, because he took off right about the same time as last year, and he said he's just so deep in and he hasn't had a chance to step back like that. But that what both of them have in common is just how challenging it's been. It's a strike on Kyle Tucker, because for a lot of his baseball life, relative to everybody else, hitting has come pretty easy to him. And this has just been a fight that he says, I don't want to do this much longer like this. You know, I wanted to get back to feeling easy. More and more the last few days, it's looked like that. 0-2 on Tucker.
Mookie's so used to, in his past, of course, and when he's hot, of hitting the ball hard 3 out of 4 at bats. You do that, you find a lot of holes.
Yeah, he said even when he wasn't right in past years, he knew he'd throw out a hit or two each day, even when he wasn't feeling good. He said he feels like a few things factoring in as the years have gone on. Pitching, he says, better and better. He feels that. He said the data more and more accurate, both in the way guys pitch you, and he said it feels like more than ever there's somebody standing there when I hit it hard. Chandler to Tucker with a 1-2 is very high.
Hey, the longer you play, the more accurate the data gets against you.
Right, there's more of it.
You're giving them reps. The data's pointing a needle up, and your ability and age might be, you know, leveling off or pointing down. Still a lot left in the tank, if you ask me, for the guy standing over there at first base right now.
Tucker lays off the changeup, and he's worked the count full. Three hits and a hit batter in the inning. 2 in the bank against Chandler. He's been one of the best pitchers in the league since the All-Star break. 3-0 with an ERA 2.5. Paez at second, Betts at first. Payoff. Breaks inside, ball 4 to load him up. We talk about him having the highest walk rate in the league. When the Dodger offense is itself, when the guys up and down the lineup are right, they expose guys like this. Tommy Edman, strikeout victim his first time. Challenge.
Batter's challenging a call of strike.
I think he's going to win it. Maybe. It's really, really, really close. Yeah.
Calls overturned.
Oh, yeah.
Los Angeles has 2 challenges remaining.
Way inside.
Good eye.
Good luck. Edman, another guy trying to build off of what he did in Colorado, especially on Wednesday. He had 2 extra base hits. He had 2 extra base hits all month going into Wednesday's game, and then doubled twice.
Tommy with a little frustration on that swing. He thought he had something to hit. Thought he put a good swing on it, just fouled it off.
'71 pitches through 2 2/3. Another 1-2 pitch to Tommy Edman. Pinpoint fastball to ring him up. But the Dodgers retake the lead on a 2-out, 2-run single from Mookie Betts, who's knocked in 10 in his last 10 games.
Join us here at the ballpark on Tuesday, September 1st for LA Kings Kings night, purchase a special ticket pack and take home an exclusive LA Kings Bailey bobblehead presented by Yamava Resorts and Casino at San Manuel. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
Andy Pages staying in the game. Good sign after his hit on the hand. It's Flores to lead off this fourth for the Pirates. No balls and 2 strikes against Yamamoto, who has struck out 5 but gave up a run in the first and a run in the third. Same exact combination with Nick Gonzalez driving in Brandon Lau both those innings. 6, 7, and 8 here. Flores is having himself some kind of week. He had 2 home runs off of the bench in their last game on Wednesday. That gives him 5 home runs, 10 knocked in over the last week. Pokes one to first, knocked down by Freddie Freeman. Takes his time, takes it himself. And now word from Morongo.
Walker Hayes live August 22nd. Get tickets now. Morongo.
One gone in the fourth. Dodgers 4, Pirates 2. Up comes Jake Mangum. First season with the Pirates, came over in the same deal that brought him Brandon Lau from Tampa Bay, where Jake had debuted last year as a 29-year-old. 296 as a rookie, 297 this year. Unique profile that he swings at everything. He chases more than anybody in baseball. Usually you don't associate that with a high average hitter. He's got a very slow bat, 226 hitters. He's 220th in bat speed, but he puts it in play. And he's one of the fastest guys in baseball when he does. He's got 56 infield hits the last 2 years, and those have fueled that average. It's button up against 300, even though he doesn't hit it very hard at all. Ahead 2-0. And the most aggressive guy out there is taking 3 pitches. That shows you how patient they're being right now. Early on in the game, very aggressive. It's flipped a little bit. Helped him. 2-2.
These are the kind of guys you think about knocking the bat out of their hand with a 4-seam fastball, especially coming after that split. But because he swings so much and is not really about a good eye, you might go back to the chase. You got 2 different theories you can attack.
Struck him out the first time with a splitter. Here he comes on 2-2. Goes to that same pitch, but Mangum spoils it.
I mean, this is like ankle high, and if he can reach this with the end of the bat, it tells you that up and in is available. Cutter in, that 2-seamer coming back and locking him up on the inside corner. Tough to get the barrel in those 2 places. Low and away like that, and then up and in. Here they come in there. It was that 2-seamer trying to leak it over. Just started on the corner, ended up near the middle. Not quite as accurate as the other ones that he's locked people up with.
Try to get him to chase that curveball, but he lays off, and it's 3-2.
They were actually going backdoor curveball, and he ended up throwing a back foot curveball.
So Mangum, who normally puts it in play very quickly, about to see the 8th pitch of this at bat. One gone in the 4th inning. The base is empty. Here it comes. Got him looking. A fastball to the knees. Strikeout number 6 for Yamamoto. 2 gone in the 4th.
Just clipped the bottom of the strike zone right at the hollow of the knee. The 4-seamer maintains its altitude and gets the call.
That's 15 Ks the last 10 innings for Yamamoto. Back to the conversation we're having earlier. Yeah, he's efficient, but he still can be that high strikeout guy. Struck out Gonzalez his first time on that pitch right there. And he gets strike 1 on it this time. Jacob Gonzalez out of Glendora High School. Started in baseball, and he was the starting quarterback as well for the Tartans. Went to Ole Miss to play college baseball. Drafted in the first round there by the White Sox just a few years back, and then traded to the Pirates in July. Making his homecoming here. Down 1-2.
If we go splitter again, I expect it to be a lot lower than the last one. Four-seamer up.
Home of the 2-2. Sky high on the left side of the diamond. Mookie Betts makes the call. Max Muncy backs off, and that's a 1-2-3-4.
Hey, Ohtani starter series bobblehead, and that is tomorrow, and you better come early. Presented by Toyo Tires. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
Yeah, you should line up now.
It's like those concert tickets where you got to sleep over with your sleeping bag.
Right. Tasker Hernandez leads off the fourth, takes a ball from Bubba Chandler. Bottom of the order, they got it started for the Dodgers last inning with Hunter Fiducia doubling. And the Dodgers retaking the lead with 2. Hernandez grounded out his first time. Here he hooks one towards the left field corner. Foul. Double and a triple on Tuesday at Coors Field. Still though below 200 his last 15 games. Doing his best lately to simplify things mentally. Chops this one to third, and that's past Triolo. Leadoff man aboard in the fourth. The third base has been a disaster for them defensively. Nick Gonzalez has played there for the most part, but he's ranked as the worst defender in baseball. So more and more they've been cycling guys that are better with the glove through there. Triolo's unable to make the play and charged with an error. Leadoff man on, Fiducia up. Double and a run scored last inning. You got Ohtani waiting on deck, ready to face Bubba Chandler, who was drafted as a two-way guy. Speaking of Ohtani, actually had committed to go play football at Clemson. Football scholarship. He'll be a quarterback there. He's going to play football and baseball. He actually had already moved in at Clemson when the Pirates drafted him and said, hey, we know you're headed to Clemson. In fact, you're already there. But here's a lot of money. And what do you think about being a two-way guy? So for his first 2 years as a pro, he didn't just pitch, but he was a shortstop, DH'd a few days a week. But he always figured pitching would probably be his ticket, and it got to the point he felt like where his focus on hitting was getting in the way of the pitching. Said he always had to put more focus on the hitting because pitching always came more naturally. So it reached the point where he said, all right, I'm going to focus on just the pitching. Even then, though, really struggled that first year where he was just a pitcher and found himself thinking maybe I will go the football route. Maybe I will go back and take that scholarship to Clemson. These days tries to channel that quarterback mentality into the idea as a pitcher. He says that it's really cool that there's a good chance the way I'm feeling, the way I perform is going to dictate how the game goes. And he likes that responsibility of both positions. There's his 3-2. Hernandez runs. Throw down is in time, and to strike him out, throw him out to wipe the bases clear.
Well done by the Pirates here with the strike him out, throw him out. You got to have a good pop time from your catcher. You got to hold the runner close. You got to make a good tag. All well done.
Strikeout number 6 for Chandler. And they're empty for Shohei, who's reached both times and scored both times. Anytime you get a story of a guy going the two-way route, getting a chance to do it at the minor league level, and then, you know, that's extraordinary. But hearing how quickly pretty much all of them tap out, it's always a good reminder how ridiculous it is Shohei's doing what he's doing.
And he's not only two-way. You could separate him and say he's only pitcher or only hitter, and he's still one of the best of the best. Crazy to have it all in one body. So dedicated, so healthy, and so productive. Three or four innings, the Dodgers get the leadoff guy on, and 2 of them they scored, but they just cut him right down there. Teoscar, the leadoff guy, getting on this inning.
Slider bends in at the knees. Strike 2. Slider at 96. Dabo Sweeney saying it could have been ours.
Well, the Dodgers have really built this pitch count along with Chandler coming into this inning. 34 pitches were out of the strike zone, and they had only swung at 4. So when he throws a ball, they don't swing. Don't see that very often. Ball was near the middle of the plate, fouled off, and Shohei got a bee sting in his top hand. He was shaking it out, trying to get the feeling out of there.
Another 2-2 pitch from Bubba Chandler to Shohei Ohtani. Wow, a little high.
We've been talking about the extra effort when he's in the batter's box. I think we're going to see it the whole night. Last time he got a ball out over the plate and hit a screaming line drive for his hit to left center.
Big bounce to the second for Lau. Yeah, that's that for the Dodgers in the 4th. Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Kike Hernandez has replaced Sandy Pages in center field after Pages was hit on the hand earlier. 9-1-2 for the Pirates. Top of the 5th. Jared Triolo pops the first pitch up. Foul ground at first. Freddie Freeman. 1 pitch, 1 out for Yamamoto. Here's a hit by pitch.
Well, we know it's painful, and we know they're going to put ice on it, and they're probably going to take precautionary X-rays, and we just hope for those to be negative.
Top of the order, Spencer Horwitz. Curve gets the call for a strike. Horwitz was a 24th round draft pick. That round doesn't even exist anymore, but 24th round pick, now his 4th year in the major leagues. 2 years in Toronto, 2nd year since coming over to Pittsburgh. Was having a huge year, but then he injured his hamstring and missed a month. And while he was coming back from the hamstring injury, got hit in the head, suffered a concussion, and has not been the same guy since getting activated. 6 for 49 since coming off of the IL. Yamamoto turns and deals a 1-2 pitch. Boy, that sinker's been awesome tonight. I don't know if this one quite got back, but
Catcher
pretty
is challenging to
close.
call a ball.
Yeah, it did.
Calls overturned. Los Angeles has 2 challenges remaining.
Like he's been watching Aurora Hershiser YouTube videos.
Let's go with Greg Maddux. But this is really outstanding. I love it because back in the day when I was learning that pitch, they told me you can't throw in there. That's where those guys, their sweet spot is down and in or kind of middle in. And I'm like, I've never seen a guy swing a bat when he's kind of scooting back from the plate. So since they're flinching, we're going to stay in there.
7 strikeout, so Jumbo Jacks are free tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink. Pirates have 4 hits in this game. Brandon Lau's got 2 of them, and he scored both runs.
We've watched that sinker inside from Yamamoto, and that was his first 51st K looking, that last one, and that ties him for 3rd most in Major League Baseball this year. He's got 4 of them tonight looking.
Part of that indecision when you have so many different options.
Yep, we've seen it with the high fastball, the 4-seamer, when they blink through it. And we've seen it with the low fastball when they think it's a splitter. And tonight we're seeing it with the sinker into lefties.
I guess you combine the indecision for the hitter because he has so many options with his ability to nail the edges. Home of the 1-2 pitch to Lau, and he strikes him out with a splitter. 1-2-3 inning in a flash, and halfway home in a 4-2 game. Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Amazon. Spend less on your kids for back to school. 2 in the first, 2 in the third. Pirates 1 in the first, 1 in the third. 4-2 game to the bottom of the 5th, and the former Dodger Yohan Ramirez is on to pitch.
Pirates are still sniffing a possible win on the road against the Dodgers. Dodgers coming off a sweep in Colorado, want to finish this one off. They've gotten 4 runs so far. That's usually a magic number, but they're looking for some insurance.
Well, they got Chandler out of the game after 4 innings. 88 pitches over those 4 innings for Chandler. Dodgers exposing his lack of control. Yeah, now 2, 3, and 4 coming up against Ramirez, with Freeman 0 for 2 today. Jumps on the first pitch, sends a towering fly ball to deep center field. Cruise to the track, just enough room.
That's not about power. That's just about the angle of that fly ball. That ball was well hit.
First at bat of the game for Kike Hernandez, coming off of the bench for Andy Pages with a nice looking bat there, Kirsten.
It sure is. He's got a pink one that was designed by his daughter Penelope, because it's Players Weekend all throughout Major League Baseball, and so players they're looking forward to getting to share their interests, their hobbies, and even things that they love when it comes to their family. So for Kike, he's got Penelope's bat, and then even you might have noticed for Freddie Freeman, he's got 4 different bats tonight, 1 for each of his children. So that last flyout, that was with Maximus's bat. So his next one is for his daughter. So maybe that'll bring a little bit of extra luck to him.
All right, she's going to be Daddy's favorite if she's the one that gets a hit. 2 balls and no strikes on Hernandez. Like a lot of the struggling Dodger hitters, Kike found a good feeling in Colorado. Went into the game 2 for his last 24, had 2 hits, including a home run. Three and 0. Four-pitch walk. And here's Muncy. Home run in the first inning to give the Dodgers their first lead of the game. 4 home runs, 10 knocked in his last 8 games. That sweeper has been Ramirez's best pitch. And good to see him find some success in Pittsburgh. It's his 7th season in the major leagues. It's his 8th different team over those 7 seasons. And the best year that he's had. The sweeper's been one of the best in baseball this year. Goes to it again, tried to backdoor it. Challenge coming here.
Catcher is challenging to call the ball.
And I think he got it right through that back door. He did. 2 out.
Calls overturned. Pittsburgh has 1 challenge remaining.
There are a lot of good things to talk about in Colorado, but I think the biggest deal is Mookie Betts having that 3-hit game. Any signs of him getting back to himself, huge deal for this team.
It really is. I mean, there are a lot of different stories, but Mookie has the resume that when he gets hot, it is a guy who can carry the team. And I think even physically is one thing for Mookie to get hits, but what it does for him emotionally is even another thing.
And then what that does for the whole team when he's feeling it emotionally. Dave Roberts was talking about that on Wednesday. Said he felt like Mookie set a tone.
His approach and the body language and just the way you react once you reach the base and you look back in the dugout, give a few of their patented cheers.
Sharply hit, but caught at third by Triolo. 5 innings in the books in LA. Dodgers with a 4-2 lead. Well, after he struck out 9 Brewers last weekend, he's got 8 Ks tonight. He's given up 2 runs over 5.
Well, they've gotten him 4 runs, and when he gets 4 or more runs in his career, he's 20-0.
Brian Reynolds leads off 3, 4, and 5 for the Pirates here, and strike 1. Started him with a splitter, and here's how he's gotten those 8 Ks.
The splitters are down in the zone. The 4-seamers have held their altitude at the top and at the bottom of the zone, and those 2-seamers are the yellow ones that have come back and gotten guys on those. So he's got a few windows working tonight.
Trying to get a new career high in wins. Matched last season's total against Milwaukee last Friday with his 12th. Bottom falls out.
It's such a pretty pitch because out of his hand it looks like it's a fastball at the knees, and then it just has that late diving movement. Comes right back in that same window with the cutter. So you know visually when the ball's down there right at the knees that the hitter's swinging. So now do you go right back to the splitter? You know the bat's probably going to get going. Make it look like it's at the knees and end up in the dirt, or change his eye line and go up.
Went up and missed. 3-2.
I think we got a 75–80% chance this is a splitter. Sinker.
It was. Oh, sinker.
Yeah.
It grounded to second for the first out of the 6.
My hint before the computer told us what it was is where the target was. The splitter target has been kind of outer half medium height, but the sinker target has been a little bit different, slightly more in. He's a little bit more on the inner half. Didn't want to go all the way to the corner because the count's 3-2, so they just went with that movement.
1 gone in the 6. Here's Nick Gonzalez. RBI single both times tonight. Since his last one back in the 3rd, Yamamoto's retired 8 straight.
What have we seen? All of like one curveball?
Yeah, maybe two.
Maybe back foot to a lefty where they're trying to backdoor it. Yeah, maybe one other one.
And first pitch curve. Splitter bounced to Max Muncy. 2 up and 2 down in the 6th. Then 9 in a row retired by Yamamoto.
It was smooth from Max. Decided to wrong foot the throw, even though he had time to plant, but very confident in his throwing abilities now. A lot of work on the footwork.
A lot of work on the footwork, a lot of work on the mobility, and then the mindset of being kind of on offense when you're on defense. Base is empty. O'Neal Cruz climbs in. He's grounded out twice to the right side of the infield, and he takes inside for ball 1. Yamamoto's back to that state of being totally in control, as if he's out playing catch in his backyard. There's not 50,000 people here watching him.
Well, he can outstuff you, but when he's locked in with the good command, he just outsequences you. You just can't stay with him.
Downhill with a 2-1 pitch. Cruz takes inside, ball 3.
Inside by a smidge.
A lot of pressure on Malachi Moore tonight. So many pitches on the corner, one way or the other.
Yeah.
Count goes full.
I mean, a fastball right down the middle to a strong hitter, and he's late because there's just so many other pitches that he has to, you know, kind of keep in the back of his head. It's a defensive approach by the offensive player.
Here's the payoff, and he lost him. That's his first walk of the game. He's got 4 different pitches that grade out as top 10 in their respective bucket. 4-seam, sinker, splitter, cutter.
Catcher Rafael Flores, Jr.
Two outs, tying run comes up, and these days this is not the guy you want representing that if you're facing the Pirates. Flores, 5 home runs the last week. Strike 1 and a cutter. And then a curve for strike 2.
And a good one. He hasn't pulled the trigger on that pitch hardly at all tonight, but in a big situation with the tying run at the plate, he throws a good one.
Just freezes Flores. The look on his face like, I wanted to, I just couldn't.
Cutter, curveball, slider.
Now what?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah.
I know you want him. If he's going to beat you, got to beat you the opposite field. So I go hard away. If you come in, it's got to be off the plate.
Yeah, high fastball to finish him off. Get his 9th K for a 2nd consecutive start. Boy, you sure can count on him, can't you? Yamamoto, 6 innings in the books, 9 strikeouts, and more in the tank.
Yeah, just pencil it in that he's going to go deep in the game. He's going to give you a quality start, and if you get him some runs, he's going to have a chance to win, and so is the team. And it's not a day off for the bullpen, but it sure is a comfortable day in the bullpen.
Now they'll try to get him a little more insurance here with Tucker, Edman, and Teoscar Hernandez coming up against old friend Kirby Yates, who's still doing it. Yeah, 39 years of age. Started this season with the Angels, traded to the Pirates at the deadline, and he's been excellent for Pittsburgh. Ball one on Tucker. Cow today grounded out and walked after getting a rousing ovation, show of support from the Dodger Stadium Friday night crowd his first time up.
Between talk radio and social media, there was a swell of people saying, you know what, let's give him a standing ovation his first at bat home and get him off to a good start, maybe change the chemistry in his brain.
On a 2-0, Tucker takes a strike on the outside corner. How much can that affect you?
I think, you know, we can talk about it all we want. We know they get paid a king's ransom. They know they're playing in the best facilities in the world. They have the best travel, the best food. But you know what? You're still a human being. And yeah, anytime you can give somebody a good feeling and confidence and tell them that, hey, we're with you. We understand you're struggling. We're with you. It feels good. It helps.
2-2 from Yates. I think also probably not just the overall struggles, but the fact that they've been so profound here is a way, I think, for the fan base to be like, hey, safe space here. We got you.
It almost gives you permission to like forgive yourself for the slow start at home. It's like, oh, they're forgiving me and they want me to go forward. Okay, I'll forgive myself.
He's gone to a full count all 3 times that he's been up there. Reminiscent of Kyle Tucker at his best. Long at bats, works counts, takes his walks. That one to hit right there and frustratedly slams the bat down as he pops it back to third and Triolo catches it. Let's get a word from Nissan.
This Dodgers broadcast is sponsored in part by your Southern California Nissan dealers.
One gone in the 6th, and here's Tommy Edman.
Tommy had some frustrations in his last at bat. Just a little off on some fastballs near the middle of the plate.
Tommy's got an ice cream bat. It's melting this weekend.
Can you hold it still just for a moment so we can see it?
Trying to get a shot. Do it for TV, Tommy.
Let's go. Hey, come on.
It's a mint chip bat. Yeah.
How did he know that's one of my favorite flavors? I love that chocolate mint chip.
One of what is at the very top?
You're sure those aren't bugs?
I'm asking what is at the very top?
Very
of the list?
top?
Yeah.
Vanilla.
Oh gosh.
With chocolate sauce and peanuts. Or just ice cream all by itself? I'd go chocolate mint chip.
Okay.
How about you?
The one that you're going to have everywhere would be like cookie dough.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
I like these Van Leeuwen. They have this cake batter swirl ice cream. Sometimes when they have that, that is out of this world. They've got a cookie dough brownie one there that's really good. Jenny's has a few good ones.
Wow, you got a good list.
Love my ice cream, man. Sharply hit and past to diving Horwitz down the line. Ricochets to Mangum, and he'll hold Edman to a single.
Well, Tommy gets a single dip.
Nice.
Thought it was a double dip when it was hit. That's what I normally get, a double dip. This one down the line, but yeah. Cone or cup, it's a single.
Like it, love it, gotta have it. Hernandez. Reached on an error his last time. There's that splitter that made a career for Kirby Yates.
Like Yamamoto, he's at his best with that pitch and then the window of that low fastball at the knees. And then when hitters start looking down too much, he was able to climb the ladder.
Stays down there, and it's top to Triolo at third. He goes to second to get the lead runner. 2 out. Pirates are the 8th team that Kirby's played for. 12 seasons in the major leagues. Back to 2014 in Tampa Bay. First few years right around league average, but then he started to bring that splitter around. His first stint in Anaheim in 2017, went to the Padres, became an all-star. Fiducia hits one off the end of the bat in the air to center field for Cruz, and that sends this game to the 7th. Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times. 2 in the first, 2 in the third for LA, and 6 strong innings from Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who's back out there for the 7th. 9 Ks in tow. Bottom of the Pirates order coming up here. Yamamoto, who routinely crosses 100 pitches and routinely goes into the 7th inning, is at 94. Brock Stewart has started to warm down in the Dodger bullpen. And Jake Mangum leads things off. 0 for 2 with the pair of Ks today for Mangum. Shows bunt, takes a ball. Got a chase from a guy who does so more than anybody. Hit hard to right center field. That'll split the gap. Extra bases for Mangum, the lead off the 7th. Stops at second with a leadoff double. The first hit for the Pirates since the 3rd inning, and just like that, they get the tying run to the plate.
Brock Stewart in the bullpen will throw a little bit more in earnest, and Yamamoto will be bearing down. Still got to really worry about the guy at the plate. Can't worry about the guy in second. Oh, they might move him over. Even if you go into the dugout at the end of this inning with a 4-3 lead, that's a win still.
Jacob Gonzalez has got 6 home runs this year between the Pirates and the White Sox. Takes a ball. Back in there, 1-1.
I know Dodger fans don't want to see Yamamoto in a jam, but I sure think it's a lot of fun to watch him pitch in jams. Just the execution and the way he concentrates.
This is close enough.
Yeah.
Tying run at the plate in the 7th.
Yeah, and Dave Roberts talked about this with Kirsten about how he just thinks he's built for the moment. That the way he has grown up as a pitcher and what he's experienced, that nothing's too big for him.
Challenge from Fiducia.
Catcher is challenging the
So
call of ball.
close. Still have both of them left, but going to lose this one by an eyelash.
Call confirmed. Los Angeles has 1 challenge remaining.
We like, as we get into these high leverage situations with 2 challenges, that you spend them.
So it's 3-1. A pop up left side of the diamond. Max Muncy for the first out. There's a good chance for most guys this would be certainly the last hitter. You got a couple lefties after this at the top of the order, but we've seen Dave Roberts go unconventionally more and more through his 11 years as a manager. Trust in what he's seeing, trust in the people over conventional statistical wisdom. Triolo is the batter at 0 for 2 today. Tying run at the plate in the 7th. Started him with a curve.
Always got something in his back pocket that he can surprise you with. Sometimes it's not even the pitch selection as much as the location of that pitch. Second time around the order with left-handers, he was trying to backdoor a lot of stuff. With the curveball, with the cutter, with the slider. Threw nothing backdoor the first time through the order.
Here he comes to the 1-1 pitch to Triolo. Got the call right there.
Both sides with 1 challenge left.
So now 1-2 pitch. Looking to match a season high 10 strikeouts, 9 Ks, just 1 walk. No runs since the 3rd. Yamamoto's 2-2. Oh, got away from him and hit him. So a 2 strikes on the 9-hitter ends up hitting him. Tying run is aboard. Go ahead run is coming up in the form of Horwitz. And with that, Dave Roberts gets to his feet. And he's coming out of the dugout to make a change. 6 2/3 from Yamamoto. The crowd begins to rise in appreciation of their favorite. And 2/3, 6 1/3. 2 runs with the book not yet closed. They'll hand it over to the bullpen. And the call to the bullpen is brought to you by Jacoby and Myers. Brock Stewart takes over.
And Brock had a nice clean inning in Colorado, only 15 pitches, a couple of strikeouts. This situation here, a little bit more challenging, looking for a ground ball double play, maybe a couple strikeouts.
And Stewart missed a couple weeks with some shoulder discomfort. Came back, pitched a scoreless inning against Colorado with a couple Ks. Hitter's Horwitz at the top of the order, and he takes inside for ball 1. Been a couple injuries for Stewart this year, but when he's been healthy, he's been really good. 2.30 ERA in his 15 games. Here's his 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike. Off the hands, left side of the diamond, infield fly rule in effect, and 2 away.
Come out of the bullpen, the adrenaline's pumping, you're really excited to get out there and do the job. You throw a few warm-up pitches, hopefully kind of rein it all in, and then start making some good pitches, and that was an outstanding cutter right there inside to that lefty.
So here's where things get really interesting. Tying run aboard, go ahead run at the plate in the form of Brandon Lau, who's got 27 home runs this year, including a walk-off against Kenley Jansen in their last game Wednesday. Stewart started him with a good changeup that caught the corner.
Remember when Brock Stewart made that climb through the minor leagues all in 1 year to get to the big leagues?
Hey, A-ball to the big leagues in the Dodger system.
A-ball, AA, AAA, big leagues. Here I am.
Looks the runner back, throws, and saws him off with a cutter, strike 2.
He's got the lively movement that goes right to left, but then when he throws this cutter, even though it only breaks maybe 6 inches, it probably to the hitter feels like it breaks a foot.
Two on, 2 out. Top of the 7th in a 2-run game. And the 1-2 pitch from Brock Stewart. Taken away, and the count evens 2-2. Dodgers looking to make it 4 consecutive wins. Dog days of August right here. Just played 13 games in 13 days. Finished it off in Colorado with a sweep. So a 3-game homestand here against the Pirates before a big series against Atlanta starting on Tuesday. Deuce is wild in the 7th. 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-2 pitch. He struck him out. Fastball right through the heart of the plate to close the book for Yamamoto. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Sit and Sleep, SoCal's most trusted mattress store. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Dodgers lead the Pirates 4-2, and Lake Bacher is part of their bullpen overhaul at the deadline for a team that was kind of hanging right on the edge of the race. That's the one area that they really went all in and got a bunch of new guys. They got Bacher from Miami.
Opponent's batting average against at 200. Shows he's got really good stuff, and it's tough to hit sometimes. 72 strikeouts in only 68 innings, at least a strikeout an inning.
Top of the order for the Dodgers, Ohtani. Singled, walk, scored twice. Bacher spent 8 seasons in the minors before getting his shot. Fires an 0-1 pitch and misses down and in. That was in the San Diego system. After he played collegiately at UW Whitewater, Division III school in rural Wisconsin. Falls behind Ohtani, 2-1. Called strike. Challenge though from Ohtani.
Batter is challenging the call of strike.
Been a lot of challenges in this game. It's overturned.
Call's overturned. Los Angeles has 1 challenge remaining.
So 3-1 on Ohtani. Baca throws. Ohtani lays off and has his second walk of the night. The lead off this 7th.
It'd be nice to get some insurance runs. Dodgers have been getting some hits tonight with 2 strikes. That walk, another leadoff guy gets on. First time Ohtani walked in this game as the leadoff hitter. He came around to score.
Downstairs and a ball on Freddie Freeman. 0 for 3 today after the 6 for 12 series in Colorado. Though he just missed it his last time, flat out to the warning track. And now he's going to use his daughter's bat. Tuning in now, you're like, wait a minute, wasn't his daughter just born? How does she have a big old wooden bat? It's Players Weekend. Kirsten told us earlier that he's got 4 bats, 1 for each of his kids. This is for his daughter, London. Boys went hitless tonight. See what baby girl's got for him.
All different colors.
Yeah.
He's had a couple pitches to hit, the last 2. One fastball, juicy, and hanging breaking ball right there.
Hers is ice cream too. You can't tell what flavor though. Something fruity. Count evens 2-2.
That's a whole cone, and then
Oh yeah,
that's cool. Very stylish. That bat deserves a hit. Can you tell he's frustrated?
Dodgers up 2. They've got Ohtani at first. Nobody out here in the 7th. Baca with another 2-2 to Freeman. And another foul ball. Ready doing what he does.
He is so good at letting the ball get deep and then hitting it to left field. But then having the strength and the quickness to turn on the ball on the inside part of the plate.
It goes to 3-2. Ninth pitch coming to Freeman. There goes Ohtani. Freeman sends a fly ball to center field for Cruz. Ohtani will hustle back to first. 1 away in the 7th. Kike Hernandez comes up. He replaced Andy Pages earlier in this game after Pages was hit in the hand. And we do have an update on Pages. Here's Kirsten.
Thanks, Joe. Andy Pages has left the game with a left hand contusion the Dodgers have just announced. So afterwards, we should understand more as to when we can hopefully see Andy back in the lineup.
All right, and hopefully it is just that for Pages. Hernandez drew a walk his first time up there, takes a strike. Three-game series this weekend. It's going to be at 4:15 tomorrow. Tarek Skubal takes it for the Dodgers. Looking for that first dominant outing still in Dodger blue. He's had 3 solid ones. Jared Jones counters for the Pirates, and then on Sunday, Blake Snell. Hernandez unable to lay off, strike 3. Sunday's game 110. Back to the road, Atlanta and Detroit.
Waiting for the dominant outing from Skubal is a bar that he's just raised on himself to be victim of anticipation, not only from the fans and the Dodger organization, but from himself. He wants to contribute in a big way.
2 outs for Muncy. Ohtani runs on a pitch in the dirt, picked a good one to run on, and he's stolen second.
The standings are great. They're in first. Winning is great. But really, this part of the year is how did you win? How did you lose? What are the finer points of the game that we need to continue to work on? And Shohei looking for that tack-on run right there.
His 8th stolen base, second only to Pages. So man in scoring position for Muncy.
In October, the baseball games are going to usually be won by the details. Playing clean, solid baseball, finding ways to get an extra 90 feet like Shohei just did right there. And actually getting there to second base for one of the best clutch hitters in baseball right now, the way Max is going.
Blake Bacher to Max Muncy with a 1-2. Dives low and evens up 2-2. Dodgers did it in both ways in Colorado. They had 6 home runs in the 3 games. They also hit .325 as a team with runners in scoring position. Underneath all that, much better at-bat quality. Up and down the lineup. 2-2 to Muncy is taken low.
With Max's eye, Mookie Betts on deck might get another opportunity to shine and put his stamp on this game.
Antoine Kelly has been warming in the Pirates bullpen. Here's Bacher's 3-2.
So the Dodgers are on Fox tomorrow, and you have the day off. Congratulations.
Thank you.
A slight respite before the big push to the end.
Yeah. Crazy that it's here. The end.
Yeah.
Muncy earns the walk. Almost got hit by it. And the Dodgers are first and second here with 2 away.
Okay, it's Mookie time.
2-run single in the 3rd inning. The difference in this ball game. His base hit in the 10th was the difference on Wednesday. And looking to be the guy in the headline again.
He was aggressive in the at-bat where he got the base hit up the middle, swung at the first pitch, drove it into center field on the ground, but hit firmly.
Hardest hit ball, though, was probably his out that he made his last time. Turned on a ball, lined it to 3rd. Triolo made a good play. Flores is going to go out there, buy a little time for the reliever to continue warming. All 4 runs for the Dodgers have scored with 2 outs in this ball game. Flashes back to last weekend when it seemed like the Brewers scored all their runs with 2 out. And he felt what that was like on the other side, just so deflating.
I can't hear you.
Don Kelly's club having to feel that in this game.
The delay in the meeting, but no change.
2 on, 2 out. Mookie Betts takes ball 1. Ball 2. Good take, 3-0.
That really was, because that was really close to his sweet spot of where he likes to golf it down into the left field corner. The keyhole that he was looking in was really small, and he was disciplined.
4-pitch walk. Bases loaded. So the 3rd walk of the inning, and the same hand they gave Kyle Tucker in the 1st inning, they'll shower on him here in the 7th with the bases juiced.
Well, here's a moment to turn your home stats around with the crowd on your side.
He tried to give it back to him.
If he hits it out, he might get a curtain call. This could be huge.
Five grand slams in his career, last one 3 years ago. One, two. Tucker sends a high fly to right center field, but not deep. Cruz and Mangum. It's Cruz to finish off the bottom of the 7th, and the Dodgers leave the bases loaded. Ball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's new Philly-style bonus jack combo. Shaved steak, grilled onions and peppers, and melty cheese, starting at $5.49. All the scoring in this game coming over the first 3 innings. On to the 8th we go. It's still 4-2, and it's Kyle Hurt on to pitch. Three, 4, and 5 for Pittsburgh. Reynolds leads off and takes ball 1. Hurt has not given up an earned run his last 4 outings. Racking up the strikeouts lately. 7 innings in August. He's got 12 Ks. High line drive, deep right field over Tucker's head, and short hops the wall. Leadoff double for Reynolds, and the Pirates continue to put the pressure on.
The hard stuff tonight, they have not been hitting, but he hits this one right here and hits it firmly. Good to stay in the ballpark when it's hit that hard. Fortunately for the Dodgers, hit a little too low to do that.
So now it's Nick Gonzalez. Knocked in their 2 runs in this game. .257 hitter for his career, coming in .310. Entering the day today, and up to .313 with the 2 hits. This is what he did in college. Won a batting title, national batting title, hitting .399 at New Mexico State.
Pirates with the leadoff double in the last inning, but they got stranded. Dodgers and Kyle are going to have to pitch around that situation again.
Pirates actually out hitting the Dodgers in this game. Pop fly, shadow right. Long way to go for Tommy Edman, but he's there. One away, and here's O'Neill Cruz. 0 for 2 with a walk. Talking about how good of a season he was having before he got hurt. Missed 2 months with a hand injury. So he's played 65 games, and he's only the 5th guy ever to have 15 home runs, 45 knocked in, 20 stolen bases in his first 65 games. It's going to be an amazing season overall, but you wonder what it could have been. What if he had stayed healthy? Bigger picture, though, they need this guy to be good for the short-term future. Right on the verge of being a postseason team. 2-0. Haven't been in a decade. Haven't won a pennant since the 1970s. It's the longest drought in the National League. Two-0 to Cruz. Taken for ball 3. Hurt wanting to be careful against a powerful hitter right here.
Yeah, I don't mind him standing over at first base in this situation. Especially with his 3-0 count, to be able to have to throw him 3 strikes. Thank you for taking. Whew. Thank you for taking.
Ricardo Enriquez is warming in the Dodger pen. Here's a 3-1. Good change out of that same window.
So his changeup gets you with the lack of velocity, where Yamamoto with the split finger action.
Back up with the fastball. We'll do it again.
That was the most bat speed we've seen out of him tonight. I think there's very little indecision in this at bat compared to when he was facing Yamamoto.
Another payoff. Cruz grounds one along first and foul.
A 3-2 count, 98 miles an hour, and he's pulling it foul.
Yeah, he's got one of the fastest bats there is.
That was a very relaxed, quick bat. That tells me you can go change up.
Couple of those out of the first 7 pitches here. Uh-oh. Sky-scraping drive to center field to tie this game. Gave him a fastball, and Cruz turned it around with a monstrous home run to even the issue at 4.
You hit it 112 mile an hour off the bat. It doesn't matter if the launch angle is a little too steep. It still goes over 400 feet.
And for the second game in a row, the Dodger pen gives up a game-tying 2-run home run. It was Vesey on Wednesday, and it's hurt right here. Strike on Flores. He tried to hit one of his own. Walks and homers have been the issues for this pen, which was #1 in baseball through the end of May, but down in the 20s as far as overall rank since then.
And the starting rotation has had their 10th really good start in a row, and the bullpen needing to turn it around. So for approximately 6 innings in the last 10 games, the starters have really handed it to the bullpen in a good place. They're just struggling to be consistent out there.
Two to Flores. Now it is a swing and a miss, and the ball gets away. Throw down from Fiducia's late, and Flores is on.
Got the K, and I got to believe it's going to be a pass ball.
Right fielder, number 28, Jake Mango.
I think every big league catcher would tell you they're supposed to have that one. He was trying to frame it, I think, and didn't get enough glove over there on the outside part of the plate.
Dave Roberts will go from hurt to Henriquez. Pirates have tied it in the 8th.
When he's in the strike zone. So this is a situation where if the Pirates are aggressive right here, he's got a good chance of getting out of this inning.
Tied it on a Cruz home run. Rafael Flores reaching first on a strikeout. It got by Hunter Fiducia. And now Jake Mangum, the 7-hitter who doubled his last time. Pirates at this point kicking themselves for that situation last inning where he doubled to start that inning and they didn't score. Top of the order came up after him. Runner at first, one away. Here's Henriquez home with a fastball that gets swung on and missed.
Triple-digit fastball.
Same thing. 102 though. Yeesh.
Yeah. 102 with better location.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. 100 to 102 to 103.
And all strikes. All three in the strike zone. The last one right down the middle.
Shortstop, number 26, Jacob Gonzalez.
I know you said big leaguers can time a bullet, but
Well, it's a small bullet.
yeah. Henry Davis pinch running for Flores at first. Jacob Gonzalez takes downstairs. We talk about these Pirates being 11-18 over the last month, but if you zoom in, 5-2 the last 7 games, trying to keep their faint hopes alive for a playoff spot. 5.5 out, 33 games left, including this one. Dodgers will not see Paul Skeens in this series, although Skeens has not been himself this year. Lasted just 4 1/3 on Wednesday in their last game. Now 9-11 with a 4 ERA. Slice to left center field. Hernandez is there, and that'll wrap up the top of the 8th. But the Pirates score for the first time since the 3rd to tie the game. Stay tuned for Access Sportsnet Dodgers. John and Jerry and Nomar to recap what has become a tight and tense one. Tied at 4 to the last of the 8th. Yeah, and it is Luke Weaver coming on to pitch. A good look at his glove.
The light color of the inside of it. You're not supposed to have much white. We'll let him use it.
Weaver, one of those deadline pickups, overhauling this bullpen. Weaver was with the New York Mets. Has come over to the Pirates, kept on doing what he was doing for New York. He had a rough first month this year, but since then he's got a 1 ERA.
Very athletic body and has a lot of life on his pitches in the strike zone and out of the strike zone.
Big part of the Yankees pen and their pennant run in 2024. One-time starter. Top prospect, got to the majors as a starter, pitched for Arizona for a few years, but has really made his career as a reliever. And not a big guy, but got really good stuff. Facing the bottom of the Dodger lineup here, Edman, Tasker Hernandez, Hunter Fiducia. Dodgers have not scored since the third. 2 in the first, 2 in the third tonight. Edman is 1 for 3. The 1 pitch. 0-2 on Edman. Struck him out. Nasty 97 there to the letters. Tie him up for the first out of the 8th.
If you have to take 3 mile an hour off a pitch to hit your spot, I think it's worth it. So if you could throw that ball 100, I'd rather have 97 right in the right spot.
That's amazing to see. 97 to 100 explode out of that smaller frame. But we've seen wiry, smaller guys do that. A little bit like early career Walker Buehler.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though Luke is far from early in his career. It's his birthday today, by the way. Turned 33 today. 1-0 on Tasker Hernandez. 1-1. Another challenge right here.
Batter is challenging the call of strike.
The most in a game this season is 11. This is the 9th.
Call's confirmed. Los Angeles is out of challenge.
This one confirmed, though. The Dodgers out of challenges.
Most in the season 11. That means the challenging team has to get a lot right to keep going.
Weaver, who is especially tough against righties, strikes one of them out right here. Of course, righties usually going to be harder on righties than they are lefties, but especially so here. Right-handers hitting 111 against Luke Weaver.
He's showing that life that I talked about when he came into the game. He really has really good spin and life on his fastball and his breaking stuff. He doesn't throw much straight.
How about this Pirates bullpen in this game? Dodgers got 4 runs against Bubba Chandler, had him out of there after 4. 3+ scoreless innings. Dodgers since Mookie Betts' RBI single in the 3rd inning, 1 for their last 16. Fiducia doubled and scored back in that 2-run 3rd on Betts' single. We'll get the top of the order to the plate again. Pirates have 9-1 and 2 due up in the top of the 9th. Ball 2. 2-1 from Weaver. Fiducia swings and misses. The change evens the count up. Just outside. Challenge.
Catcher is challenging to call the ball.
From Henry Davis, who stayed in after pinch running for Flores, and now both teams are out.
Call confirmed. Pittsburgh is out of challenges.
So Fiducia's worked the count full with Ohtani waiting on deck. Tall task right here against Weaver. Got him. Weaver strikes out the side in the 8th. Edgar Enriquez finished off the 8th inning and is out there for the 9th in a 4-4 ball game with 9-1-2 coming up for Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh has out-hit the Dodgers 7-5, but the Dodgers have walked 6 times. Pirate has only walked once. 23 strikeouts combined with these two teams tonight.
Jared Triolo hit by pitches last time. 0 for 2 though. Triolo has trees on his bat on Players Weekend. Fly to right field. Kyle Tucker's over there. He's got room for the first out of the 9th. We're talking about the offense coming to life in Colorado. The other thing they did the last couple games, they won close games, and those are the games they've been dropping lately. So as much as there was hope in talking to guys on the team that they built off of the momentum offensively, trying to build off of the ability to win those close games as well. You can get into feeling streaky in those situations too. Top of the order in Horwitz.
Well, if the rotation's doing really well, you're going to have close games or you're going to win them. And if the bullpen can be more consistent, you're going to win those close games. So we're going to need to finish this one off.
Top of the order due up for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 9th. Ohtani, Freeman, and Kike Hernandez came on for Andy Pages earlier when Pages left with a hand contusion, was hit by a pitch. Dodgers just 1 hit since the 3rd. On the corner, 2-2.
Enriquez tonight taking the pitch clock right to the very edge. It doesn't feel like it's the NFL where you watch the clock go down for the snap and then you look to see if it's been snapped. A lot of umpires are like right on 0 here.
Full count. Here's the payoff from Henriquez. In on him. Hooked foul. Do it again.
In your first inning, you were throwing 103. You get a 3-2 count with 1 out, nobody on, and Let's just throw a little breaking ball.
No big deal. Another payoff to Horwitz. Fly to left center field. Hernandez and Hernandez. It's Tasker over Kike. 2 out. Not out of the woods yet, though. Enriquez sets his sights on Brandon Lau. Scored both runs for the Pirates early on. Singled and scored in the first, doubled and scored in the third. Got a shot with a good finish to reach 100 RBIs for the first time in his almost decade in the majors. Rips and misses over a first pitch slider. Geared up for that heat. And then there it was, breaking under the swing in the 80s. Oh, 2. Slider then cutter. He's gotten to 2 strikes and he hasn't even shown him the triple digits yet.
No, he can go up the ladder if he wants. He can back foot something a little more off speed than the cutter. So nasty. It's like, when do you ever think you could hit it? So why swing?
Climbs the ladder with a fastball. First one that he throws him. And Lau stays alive.
Just go to the batting cage one day, maybe buy about 20 pitches and just let the machine spit it out as hard as it can. And that's what this looks like.
Out of the 1-2 pitch.
I'm not sure there's a whole lot of machines that can throw at 102.
Certainly not at the batting cage down the street.
No.
That would be a hazard. 2-2 on the way. Down the line, hooking to the corner. Just foul. Oof.
Yamamoto started the game, and now he's in the stands in the front row there and almost caught that one. Looks like he's been attacking the spread during the game.
I'll leave that one there. Did he go? He did. Strike 3. 1, 2, 3, 9th for Henriquez. Top of the order coming up for the Dodgers, looking to win it. On to pitch. Montgomery, who they got in a trade from Tampa Bay this offseason, same one that brought him Lau and Mango. Sub-1 ERA since the end of June, and especially good against lefties. Lefties hitting just 125 against him. Ohtani, who's been on 3 times and has scored twice, takes ball 1. 3 walk-offs as a Dodger. 2 of those walk-off home runs. Does not have a walk-off hit this year. Now on this 1-0, Shohei takes a strike down the middle.
Short 3-game homestand, but if you're going to maintain any of the momentum coming out of Colorado, you need to win this game.
Lays off the high fastball. The Dodgers trying to reestablish their home field advantage. Just 6-7 here since the All-Star break. They've dropped 10 of their last 16 games here. 2-2. Struck him out. Montgomery up to 100 from the left side.
The Dodgers' best road team in baseball with 15 games over 500 on the road, only 11 games over 500 here at home. Usually the reverse of that.
And now Freddie Freeman. Freeman 17 regular season walk-offs, 3 more in the playoffs. His walk-off RBIs, that is. Down 0-2, and my goodness, Mason Montgomery.
Not only is deceptive with his delivery and the way he comes at you, but boy, 101 on the corner.
One, 2 to Freeman. In the dirt. Count evens 2-2. He's worked it full. Freeman strikes out, 2 away. Mason Montgomery just blowing him away. Ohtani and Freeman both.
And this was a tough one for Freddie to reach once he decides to swing. That is almost a plate outside. He was guessing cheese and trying to launch.
Hernandez off of the bench today for Andy Pages. Pages leaving after he got hit on the hand. It'll be something that worth monitoring as he gets tests done. Here's a smash to right center field. Cruz on the run. O'Neal Cruz with a sliding catch to send it to extras. For the second game in a row, similar pattern. Hopefully has the same finish too.
Ghost runner that gets to be out there at the beginning of the inning. You kind of try and hold serve by with that they only score 1, but if you can put a 0 up, you put your team in a great position to win the game.
Evan Phillips has put up 0s 8 of his last 10 games. Facing the team here in the Pirates that is trying to get its 6th win in its last 8 games, trying to keep its hopes alive in that postseason hunt. Free runner for the Pirates is Lau. Reynolds, the hitter, doubled and scored on that game-tying home run from Cruz. It's Reynolds, Gonzalez, and Cruz here in the 10th.
Reynolds with the leadoff double in the 8th. The Pirates also got a leadoff double in the 7th. They scored 2 runs to tie this game in the 8th with the big home run.
Dodgers win on Wednesday, moved them to 4-0 in extra innings games. Cut and miss, 1-2.
3 pitches, 3 different pitches, and this last one a well located 97-mile-an-hour fastball right on the hands.
Pirates, by the way, 5-8 in extra innings games. One-two pitch. I was just looking through all the extra innings records. The Cubs have played 17 extra innings games, won 11 of them. That can change your season.
For sure.
Something in the water in Chicago. White Sox played 17, 7-10. Two and a half back of the Brewers, who beat the Braves earlier tonight. Jacob Mizorowski over Chris Sale. How about that pitching matchup? Mizorowski 6 scoreless. Fly ball right field. Tucker has to play it on a bounce. Leadoff hit for Reynolds.
When it leaves the bat, you hope it's not over his head, but with some topspin, it ends up falling in front of him. Ball just ducked down into the outfield grass with that topspin.
So first and third, one of the top hitters for average in the league right here in Gonzalez, who's knocked in 2 tonight. Phillips is 1-0. In there for a strike, 1-1.
You're really pitching to only be down by 1, knowing your team's going to get a man on second with no out. So if they let you pitch out of this with a 0, fine. But right now, you're just trying to prevent the runner on first scoring.
Phillips 1-1. Got a swing and a miss for strike 2.
That's a hanging breaking ball. If he gets a hit on it, you're going to say, oh, that was a bad pitch. So if he swings at that one and misses, if you can throw a good one, you're probably going to get him. Low and away with a breaking ball. Ooh. All right. It's okay, late on a fastball. I don't mind that, because that sets up a better breaking ball. If you throw it, get it low and away.
Good one.
Gonzalez made a nice swing there with 2 strikes. That was a 2-strike approach. It looked like he was just kind of trying to put it in play to right field. He didn't take a full hack at it.
Nobody out. Runners at the corners. Another 1-2 pitch to Nick Gonzalez is popped foul. That'll find the seats. And on we go.
This is a good at bat by Gonzalez. He is battling. He's fought off the breaking ball low and away. They came up and in, which after you foul off one low and away, you think there's a hole there, but he fought that one off, that 4-seamer in. The count's still so much in your favor that you try and make it look like a strike, end up a ball, and get the chase.
Fastball again, fouled off again.
Evan looked a little frustrated after that foul ball, like, what do I have to do to get him out?
Eighth pitch coming up here. He's fouled off 4 of them so far. He's got Lau at third, Reynolds at first. Infield now pinches in. 1-2 comes home. Made a good slider, but Gonzalez took it, and an impressive at-bat continues.
14 pitches so far in the inning and no outs.
Here's his 2-2. Got him with a high fastball.
Well, he went breaking ball away. He's gone fastball in. The one thing he hasn't seen is a fastball away, and he hits the spot perfectly.
O'Neill Cruz is coming up, and they're going to put him on intentionally to load the bases.
15 O'Neill Cruz is being intentionally walked.
And if they're doing that, well, they go in the middle of the infield as double play depth. And Muncy at third is coming home if at him, but if it's making him lean to his left, he's probably going to go around the horn. Freddie definitely coming home.
All right, so Henry Davis, who came on as a pinch runner earlier, first at bat of the game, bases loaded in the 10th, and it's strike one from Phillips. Dave Roberts managing aggressively right here, trying to get out of this inning unscathed, where normally you kind of accept that a run is going to score. He's managed with more urgency the last couple weeks. Strike two on Davis. Said he talks about wanting the team to play with more urgency. He said first step of that from his perspective is I'll manage with more.
He walked to get to a 178 career hitter.
0-2 is pulled to short, 6-4-3, and out of it unscathed. How about it? To the bottom of the 10th. Task right here, winning run at second to begin the inning. Bottom of the 10th. Runner for the Dodgers will be Kike Hernandez. And instead of Max Muncy, Alex Call will pinch hit.
Another guy who's tough on lefties, Alex Call. Gonna be charged with getting the runner over. Be interesting. Do they bunt? Do they have him hit the opposite field? Kike runs well enough to bunt him over.
As a pinch hitter this year, Alex Call 7 for 21.
Pittsburgh defense looks like they're thinking bunt. They're starting to pinch in already.
Only has one of them in year plus with the Dodgers. None of them this year. Here we go. He squares. And bunts it foul. Here's a situation where it looks like it's easy, but especially when it's not part of the game and guys don't practice it a ton, it ain't.
This is practice for October also. And what you're trying to do here is bunt it to the third baseman to force him to field the ball so Kike goes to third unscathed. First base really pinching in.
Well, he's a good bunter. He had 5 bunts in Washington last year before they traded him.
Well, the key to this bunt to get it down third is to keep your bottom hand close to your front hip so you have enough arm length of your right arm to angle the ball towards third. Perfect. Stay fair.
Wow. It's a foul ball. Can't challenge. Dino Ebel saying challenge it, but ground ball in front of the bag on the infield, you can't.
It was well executed, but it is definitely foul. Will they keep the bunt on with 2 strikes? If you keep the bunt on with 2 strikes, you don't want to risk the foul ball. So what you're trying to do now is deaden it out about 15 feet in front of home plate, no matter what direction.
Swings away and strikes out.
Two foul bunts and a check swing, and the strategy for the pinch hitter goes down as a failure. And they're going to walk Mookie Betts.
And bring up Kyle Tucker. On a night where they've showered him with more cheers than he's heard probably since opening day here. His first game as a Dodger. Got a chance to return the love. Soto's 0-1. On a strike. Strike 2.
That was one to hit right there. And you're a little worried about the breaking ball away in this left-on-left situation, especially after watching that sharp breaking ball from the on-deck circle against Alex Call. Now here's a fastball right down the middle.
Winning run at second here in the 10th. Tucker takes it low. He's looking for his first hit of the night, but he's had good at-bats. He's gone full in 3 of his first 4 times. On this 2-2, Tucker has worked it full again.
Catcher is challenging to call the ball.
Davis challenges, but this pitch did miss. And it's the 4th full count and 5 at-bats for Tucker.
Pittsburgh is out of challenges.
Both teams are out of challenges through 9 innings, but they get one back in extras, and Pittsburgh just lost theirs.
Three-two pitch from Soto. Tucker stays alive. Another payoff. Tucker to second. That is Lau going to second for 1, and that's all they'll get. So first and third, 2 out. And it'll be up to Tommy Edman. Dodgers did the normally really hard to do and put up a 0 in the top of this inning. Pirates trying to return the favor. A rare 0 in extras. Tommy Edman has 6 walk-off hits in his career. 1 with the Dodgers. Came last April against Miami. Gregory Soto, by the way, does have 7 wild pitches this year. Edman down 0-2.
A lot of times in this situation, you want to go high fastball so you don't risk the wild pitch of the breaking ball in the dirt. And they can't get on the same page, so they're going to have a meeting. You go with the 0-2 breaking ball in the dirt, you bring up the risk factor. You go with the high fastball, try and get the chase there. It's a lot easier to catch that ball.
Now an 0-2 pitch. Time taken. Here it comes. Edman down the line, if it's fair game. Tommy Edman, Tommy Baseball ends it in the 10th.
I think he said he had 6 walk-off hits in his career.
There you go, 7.
Got number 7, and the Dodgers got their 7th walk-off win of the year, and at home, keeping some momentum off of the Rocky sweep in Colorado.
It's a 4th consecutive win for the Dodgers. 2nd straight extra innings win, and this time Tommy Edman's the hero on a 2-strike pitch.
Down and in breaking ball. They didn't get it down all the way. They didn't get it in all the way, but he kept it fair and ended this one.
And so the Dodgers stay within 2 games of the Brewers for the top seed in the National League. They now lead the Braves by 3. All 5 runs for the Dodgers in this game came with 2 outs. And they beat the Pirates by a final of 5-4. Down to Kirsten.
Tommy, it's always amazing when you can come in the clutch for your team, but take me into just the mindset for a walk-off moment like you just had.
Yeah, just trying to put a ball in play, get something into the outfield, and, got a decent pitch on that last one, and, just did the job.
You were in an 0-2 count. What are you reading there just to get that swing that you wanted?
Just trying to get something up. I know he was going to try to get me to chase below the zone, and fortunately he left him a little bit too high.
You had talked about him when we were in Denver that you were feeling like the swing was in a good spot. How good are you feeling now when you get these types of results and continue to build your own momentum?
Yeah, feeling all right. Didn't have the best day leading into that, but, kind of just kept the right mindset, tried to stay consistent and, forget about what happened earlier and, paid off.
You guys had the sweep in Denver. When you can come back home, continue the winning, continue the momentum, how important was it to just start this homestand off with a really positive one?
Yeah, it's huge to win those extra inning games, a little higher intensity, and, it just feels good to keep the winning streak going and just trying to keep the momentum.
Before I let you go, of course, it's Players Weekend. We noticed the bat. Tell us about it and just the sprinkles you had and the ice cream there.
Yeah, Eli's been talking about ice cream cones a lot lately, so, it was kind of a no-brainer.
It was perfect. Tommy, congratulations on this moment and this win tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, so Edman makes it a Dodger win with this 2-out, 2-strike hit in the 10th. For Hershiser, Kirsten Watson, the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium. Fox has the broadcast tomorrow. We'll be back with you on Sunday. Fair game. Tommy Edman, Tommy Baseball ends it in the 10th.
Tommy Tanks walks it off in the 10th inning. Dodgers didn't need a tank from him, just an RBI knock to get the win. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers, brought to you by Mercury Insurance. John Button, the bottom of the first. 1 on, 2 outs for the cleanup hitter. Max Muncy gets Bubba Chandler, and that's a 2-run bomb.
That was a fastball. Showing it was a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, but that was coming up and in. That wasn't like down the middle of the plate. And Max Muncy getting the barrel to that ball was really impressive and driving it out of the ballpark. Great swing by Max Muncy.
You can say it, Jerry. Someone's called shot tonight.
I'd rather not, John. But hey, great swing, Max Muncy. Love seeing it. He has been red hot with the bat.
Top of the second, Jake Mangum leading it off for Pittsburgh. Nasty splitter from Yamamoto.
Especially, this is key. You just got the lead back after your first inning where you may be like, okay, it was a little tough getting out of it. Then you strike out the first guy you face. You strike out the next guy you face. And by the way, you're not finished because you got to just strike out the side.
Just
So he
love
gets
that front
Jacob
hip.
Gonzalez, the other Gonzalez in Pittsburgh's lineup. And here's that one, Nomar, 97 to punch out the side, getting Triolo.
And that was just beautiful. Just going out there, utilizing his pitches, showing off the command. Great job by Yamamoto.
Bottom of the second inning, Kyle Tucker leading off. Jerry, getting